in a night that felt less like a boxing match and more like a precision-guided missile strike. Oleksandr Usyk once again demonstrated why he is arguably the most cerebral and technically brilliant heavyweight boxer of this generation. The showdown at Wembley Stadium, where Usyk launched a blistering assault that ended Daniel Dubois in the 5th round, was nothing short of a masterclass, a showcase of tactical wizardry, psychological mastery, and athletic supremacy that left the British challenger practically counting stars instead of punches. The narrative unfolded like a thriller, the younger bulked-up Dubois hoping to bulldoze his way to glory, and the crafty Ukrainian at a sprightly feather in heavyweight terms, orchestrating a chess game where every move was carefully calculated, every punch a statement. From the opening bell, it was clear that Usyk was not there to slug it out in some kind of brawling frenzy that Dubois probably dreamed of. Instead, Usyk deployed his ring intelligence with the grace and precision of a surgeon. The Ukrainian patiently baited Dubois into lunging aggressive attacks, which only played into Usyk's hands. The younger fighter, bruised, impatient, and desperate to make a name for himself on home soil, kept throwing wide, lunging right hands with all the subtlety of a wrecking ball. That was exactly what Usyk wanted. Like a seasoned hunter, Usyk waited for the perfect moment and then unleashed stinging counter-punches that landed with the cold accuracy of a heat-seeking missile, especially in that 5th round, when one of those counters caught Dubois flush on the temple, a shot that caught the London crowd gasping and the fighter himself admitting it was a punch he never saw coming. It was like watching a maestro conduct an orchestra, where every note was a step away from doom for his opponent. Every time Dubois tried to plant himself and hammer home those shots, Usyk slipped and slid out of harm's way like a seasoned matador, making the British brute miss by what seemed like yards. Even Dubois's own trainer, knowing full well the gulf in skill, could only concede post-fight the obvious. This was facing a generational great. The statistics, as they often do in boxing, told their own story. Dubois managed to land barely a fraction of the punches he's used to connecting with. Usyk, meanwhile, turned evasiveness and angles into a virtually impenetrable fortress, landing multiple counters for every punch he let go. There was also an intriguing subplot involving weight, which is often overlooked but proved to be decisive. Dubois had added significant bulk since their last meeting, hoping that the extra mass would power up his punches and make him more formidable. Instead, that extra weight acted like an anchor dragging him down, sapping his stamina and slowing his reflexes to the point where he was a sitting duck by round 5. Usyk, far lighter and nimbler, wasn't about to brawl with a slow heavyweight and instead took advantage of the speed disparity, peppering his opponent with lightning-fast combinations while juggling his evasions perfectly. The contrast between Dubois' plodding heaviness and Usyk's balletic footwork made the latter's success feel almost inevitable as the rounds ticked by. But boxing is not just about physicality, it's warfare of mental fortitude, mind games, and psychological chess moves. The pre-fight build-up, usually a mix of bluster and bravado, had its own fireworks. Dubois' camp made noise about Usyk's choice of gloves and the height of his trunks, trying to chip away at his confidence. Meanwhile, Usyk remained unshaken, even walking into Wembley, clutching an Eeyore plushie belonging to his daughter, a quaint but powerful symbol of calm and emotional focus amidst the storm. This unflappable demeanor seemed to unnerve Dubois, who visibly froze at critical moments in the ring, like a deer caught in the headlights of Usyk's relentless precision. Usyk capitalized without hesitation, his every move that of a predator who has smelled blood and knows his opponent is fading from mental battle as much as physical exhaustion. Another key element in Usyk's strategy that night was his targeted body attack, a tactic that completely upended Dubois' own game plan. The British knockout artist had vowed to bring chaos with punishing body shots, hoping to wear down Usyk's legs early to set up knockout punches upstairs. Instead, Usyk flipped that script with surgical precision. For rounds, he drilled Dubois' midsection with rapid-fire left hands, draining the challenger's legs and setting a trap for the finishing move. By the time he unleashed the headshots in the 5th round, Dubois' body was already compromised, his reflexes slow, and his ability to absorb punishment diminished. The final right hook exploited this vulnerability perfectly, followed swiftly by a punishing left hook that left no doubt in anyone's mind. The fight was over. The aftermath of the fight etched Oleksandr Usyk, cemented his legacy even deeper into the annals of heavyweight history. He became the first ever three-time undisputed heavyweight champion in the era of the 4 major belts, a truly unprecedented achievement that only underscores his dominance and technical brilliance. With an undefeated record now stretching to an astonishing length, Usyk looks less like a boxer and more like a phenomenon, rewriting the sport's record books while carrying the hopes of his nation on his muscular shoulders. Dubois, on the other hand, faces a tough crossroads. With several knockout losses already on his record, this defeat represents a harsh but necessary lesson in the brutal realities of top-tier competition. His road to redemption, if he chooses to take it, will be a challenging climb back from the psychological and physical damage inflicted on that Wembley night. Interestingly, even the usually partisan British crowd couldn't help but acknowledge Usyk's greatness. As he left the ring, tears streaming, the stadium erupted in chants of "Usyk, Usyk," a remarkable tribute given that this was on what should have been Dubois's home turf. It was a recognition that transcended national allegiance, a moment where even the staunchest supporters of the home fighter gave credit to a man who had, in a sense, conquered the UK by beating its proud sons not once but twice each, including Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua. Fury himself, in a rare moment of grudging respect, conceded that there might be only one man in the division capable of beating Usyk, and that man was, of course, him. But at 38, the Ukrainian insists this is just the beginning, a declaration of intent that has sent ripples through the heavyweight division, warning that his reign is far from over and that his blend of skill, speed, and smarts will continue to be a nightmare for anyone who steps. This fight was more than a showdown of fists. It was a chess match played out with gloves, where every feint, every pivot, every jab told a story of dominance. Oleksandr Usyk, with his dazzling footwork, uncanny ring IQ, and unshakable calm, reminded the boxing world that heavyweights don't have to be just big and strong. They can be brilliant and lethal in ways that rewrite the rules of the game. Daniel Dubois may have arrived with dreams of chaos and destruction, but he left shattered by the sheer brilliance and composure of a man who might just be the smartest heavyweight to ever grace the ring. The message from Wembley is clear. In the heavyweight division, brains and speed can still outclass brute force, and Oleksandr Usyk is the maestro conducting the symphony of their demise.